Hi, everybody. It is Monday, Motivational Monday, as I'm now calling it. I'm trying to do one of these every Monday just to give you little tips and tricks to use throughout your journey. So hopefully these come in handy for people. Today, I just wanted to touch a little bit on reaching our goals. I've had a few people message me and talk to me in person the last couple weeks about, and they're feeling really frustrated. They're not they're feeling like they're doing everything they can, yet they're still not reaching their goals, and they're not really budging. Nothing seems to be budging. So I've sort of been thinking about that a little bit, because I hate that anyone's feeling like that you're working so hard, you're keeping up with your workouts, and you're feel like you're eating the right foods in the right portions, and you're still not getting to where you want to be. So when we start out on our weight loss journeys, some of us, not all of us, but some of us have a really big amount of weight to lose. And what happens is, in the first little bit of time, you lose pounds fairly consistently is the word. Some people do, they lose, 10 to 15 pounds really quickly, but not everyone does that. But usually if you have a considerable amount to lose, like say 40 pounds and over, you're going to lose things really consistently. And none of this is factual. This is just sort of what my experience has been. So I know when I first started to lose weight, that first little bit of time was so motivating, because every time you jumped on the scale, you were down a couple more pounds and feeling good. And at that time, you could still have some slip ups. So if you had some cheats or you missed your workout or whatever, it didn't make that big of a difference. Now, I learned the hard way that once you get down to fairly close to your goal weight, you have to really tighten the reins if you want to get there. So if you are sitting here listening to this and you only have, 10 to 15 pounds left to lose to get to an ideal weight, and think about that realistically. Some people have this number in their head that is just so ridiculous that your body is not going to be able to be at such a low weight and stay there and sustain it. So think about a realistic number that fits with your lifestyle and fits with your sort of proportions, your BMI. So to get there, if you only have about 10 to 15 pounds to get there, if you want to get there, you are going to have to be super strict. So last spring, that was exactly where I was. And I had been there for quite a few years, to be honest. I only had that last 10, 15 pounds to lose for quite a few years. And I am a slow learner, because I thought I was doing everything right for probably 5 years. And what I was doing was not working. But I continued to do it week after week. I continued to be frustrated week after week. I continued to be depressed, angry, sad, not very much fun to live with sometimes. I can remember my husband saying to me once, "I can tell exactly the time you've weighed yourself, because you are so frustrated and you're so depressed and your whole mood just changes. I can tell when you've stepped on and off that scale." That is not okay. He hid the scale at that time. I think that's when we were first married. Anyways, it took me a long time to figure out that to get rid of those last few pounds, I had to decide in my mind that was what I wanted to do. That was my goal, and nothing was going to get in my way. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. And when I say that, I mean food-wise and exercise-wise. I had to make a plan, and I had to stick with it. And the little things that creep into your diet that you don't realize are those scraps of grilled cheese sandwiches, those couple chips left in the bowl, or the few pieces of popcorn from your husband's bowl at night, or the candy from the candy dish at the hair salon, all of those things at the end of the day add up. If you take the tiniest little nibble from your daughter's plate at every meal that she has, so say her breakfast and her snack and her lunch and her snack, all of a sudden you've maybe added 100 calories to your day. And that makes a difference. Unfortunately, when you just have those last few pounds to lose, like 10 to 15 pounds to lose, that makes a big difference at the end of the day. You have to keep it super clean. It might mean not having those cheats on the weekends. It might mean doing extra workouts to burn off the calories, but you just can't burn off food. Unfortunately, it is, I know some people say it's 80-20, but in my experience for my body, and we're all different, but for my body, it is like 95% food. And exercise has been something that I've added to my life because I need it. I crave it. My energy needs it. But I don't know how much of a difference it plays in what the number on the scale says. I think it makes a big difference in inches and how I look visually, but number on the scale, I can tell you right now, I have about 4 pounds on me that I didn't have in the summer. And it's because of all those extras. Right now, I've gotten into this habit and it's terrible. Ugh, what it's doing to my insides, I can't even imagine. But I've got into this habit of having a couple sugar-free candies every night, these sugar-free taffy things. They're not even that good, but now I'm craving them and it's become habitual and I need to get myself out of it. I know it, but that would be the only thing that I'm doing that isn't totally focused in my eating plan because I really want to get these 4 pounds off. So left brain really wants the 4 pounds off. Right brain really wants those toffees. And I continue to have them and I continue to keep the 4 pounds on. Still exercising like I always have, still eating like I always have, still using my containers. My portions are on par. So I know that's what it is. Those are adding up. Yeah, sometimes I have 4 or 5 of them in a day. So that's adding probably 100 calories and that's stopping me getting those 4 pounds off. So I just really, everyone that's so frustrated, and I hate that you're so frustrated and sad and all of that, but I think that you really, really need to look at what you're eating. Even I know all of you, most of you that I talk to are either using the 21-day fix or you're using MyFitnessPal and you're plugging everything in there, but you're missing some stuff. You must be. Or there's something medical going on that I have no idea. And if you can honestly say, I am not having any of those extra things, I just am not, there's nothing extra, my portions are on par, I'm never touching my kids' food, I'm never taking the candy if you can honestly say that and you're working out and you're following things, then, there's oftentimes that people have thyroid issues or what have you. And I have no education in that kind of stuff. So then I think you need to go see a doctor. But most of the time, that's probably not the case. It's more what we're doing. And I do it all the time. I'm grabbing stuff out of Delaney's, chip bowl sometimes. I mean, I totally get it. It is so hard. And I know that I was so focused in the spring, and that's how I got to my goal. So just know that when you are down to those last few pounds, it takes every ounce of your dedication to get to your goal. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, is it really that important that I get there? Or am I just happy here, continuing to exercise and tone and feel good? I'm at a very healthy weight. I'm in my BMI range. Do I really need to get down to that number that I have in my head? And I think those are questions that you have to ask yourself, because sometimes to stay at that number, you have to be so strict that it doesn't fit into everyone's lifestyle. So I hope this sort of, I know it might have made people take a second look and think, maybe I need to tighten the reins a little bit. But I also hope it makes you feel better that, you don't have to do that. as long as you're in a healthy range and you're eating healthy, and you know, it doesn't have to be everyone's goal to get down to that seeing abs and whatever. Everyone has their own thing and everyone has their own goal. So, but I just want you all to know, to get there, to get to seeing abs and being that thing in your mind, that image in your mind, it really, really takes super, super clean, super, super strict restrictions. So it's not for everybody. Anyways, I know that no matter what your goal is, you're all going to do super awesome this week. We're all going to have a great week. There's no extra little holiday temptations this week. So we can all have a wonderful 7 days, and I will see you next Monday. Have a good one.